What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Front Yard Fantasy Podcast live stream. Simon's back. Josh is gone. Is it Tuesday? That's the end.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Are we sure it's Tuesday? I've thought it was Wednesday / Friday all day today. I've been going back and forth. I'm a bit confused on my days this week, but I guess Monday Night Football should have cleared that up.
Yeah, it should have.
But then there was 2 games, so I was thrown off again. And we had a Tuesday. We had a Tuesday night game last week, so who knows? Today could have been Wednesday, following a Tuesday night doubleheader.
It was so weird watching football at 5 p.m. Like, it was just such a weird experience for me.
I was in California this weekend, as you know, and I woke up Saturday morning. I was like, oh, I wonder what time Clemson plays, and I looked at my phone, and it was 9 a.m.
Oh my god!
And I was like, what in the world? That's wild. The Pacific Coast time, you guys are wild. You're living the dream. You can wake up, watch football. Sunday night football's over. It's dinner time. Go to bed. That's the life.
I like it. I kind of like the nighttime games. I think they're fun.
Yeah, there was something nice though about Clemson being done by noon.
I see that. I just like noon games though. On the Eastern time, they started at noon, and I dislike that.
But what about 9 a.m.?
9 a.m. would be too early. I'm still sleeping then.
Okay. Well, today it's just me and JL. As you can see, Josh decided he had to go on a last-minute expedition into the Amazon to search for a cure for a rare stomach infection that his step-cousin came down with. So
don't lie to them, Simon. Just be honest. Josh has had a lifelong dream to become Indiana Jones, and he's trying to make it happen. But we're not going to stop on that dream. We're going to let him do his thing.
He'll probably be back tomorrow.
Probably, yeah. He won't last long in the South America.
See, Sean knows what's up. 5 p.m. kickoffs are awesome. Get to watch football while cooking dinner. Can't beat it. I'm on that team. I was spoiled by football on California time this weekend.
5 p.m. was yesterday was just normal time. Eastern time, we had 5 p.m. kickoff. It was awesome. I agree.
Was it at 5 p.m.?
Yeah,
I watched one of those games on the airplane.
I think they should not have the 9 games at 1 o'clock on Sunday, and instead just keep doing this doubleheader on Monday. Just keep the train going. I like it.
A beer on Tuesday?
Beer on Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay,
that kind of Tuesday.
It's that kind of Tuesday. Well, John Luke, today you and I, without Josh, we are going to be doing an Underdog Fantasy Week 7 draft. It's going to be a 6-person draft, $3 entry fee. I'll share my screen so you can do it. We're still waiting for 3 people to join.
If you want to join,
go to Underdog Fantasy. This is the 6-person $3 entry. Anyone who's watching, you can draft against us, snipe our guys. Wouldn't recommend it. We didn't do so hot last time. But wait, no, that was a best ball league. We're probably doing fine there, but we shall see. So I went ahead and started throwing together some of these rankings, JL. We can look at these, see how you feel about it. I skipped a couple people, and the wide receivers aren't mixed in with the running backs where I would put them. I just started ranking some running backs and ranking some wide receivers. For me, these first 2 are just about interchangeable. Aaron Jones and Alvin Kamara. Yeah. I really don't have a strong opinion. They both have been incredible this year, and they both have incredible matchups
for running back. Have already had their bye.
Yep. Well, and this is just for 1 week anyways. This is not a best ball. This is just week 7.
That makes sense. Then this doesn't matter.
Nope. So for me, it's just Aaron Jones is playing Houston. That's a great matchup for running back. Alvin Kamara playing Carolina. These are slam dunks. I don't really care which one I would get out of those 2. I don't have a strong opinion. I think I lean Aaron Jones slightly, but I'm not sure.
Duo common denominator.
JL's always here to hold the fort down.
Yeah.
For me, next though, Kareem Hunt at Cincinnati. I know he had a really rough week this next week. I could see Ezekiel Elliott at Washington as well. I think that's the safe next pick. But I think Kareem Hunt's about to have a huge game against this Cincinnati defense, which has not been very good against the run this year. And people might be scared off a little bit because of his poor showing against Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh has shut down running backs like crazy. We saw what they did to Saquon before he got hurt. They're making fantastic running books
blocks,
looking like complete scrubs.
He got 24.1 points in PPR when they played the Bengals on week 2. And that's with Chubb there.
That was with Chubb there.
Yeah,
that's
10 attempts, 86 yards and a touchdown, 2 receptions for 15 yards and a touchdown.
That's a great point. Well, I'm not calling for 3 touchdowns. I think they're going to follow a very similar game plan, but this time there is no Nick Chubb. It's just Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
So he might even actually be closer to this first tier for me, but I'm going to go ahead and say like Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara is my tier 1, and then Kareem Hunt, Ezekiel Elliott is my tier 2, and then the next tier is a lot bigger for me. But those are kind of my first 2 tiers. Are you in agreement? Anyone you would add, take away?
No, I completely agree with that, actually. I might lean Kamara a little bit over Jones, but
that's fine with me as well.
It's, we're splitting hairs, as they say in the biz.
The hair biz.
The hair biz, yeah. So I like that tier 2 as well. I think I agree with that. Let's see. Yeah, where's Mike Davis? You got Mike Davis in there?
He was one of the ones I was unsure about because New Orleans is a tough matchup. Him, Josh Jacobs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire were the like big names that I wasn't sure what to do with this week. I just don't know quite where I would put them. Like, do I want a Mike Davis? Do I want a Mike Davis against sorry, who are they going up against? Against New Orleans, which isn't a great matchup, or do I want a Ronald Jones against Las Vegas, which is a much better matchup for the running back? You know what I mean? Like Mike Davis has been better. Ronald Jones had a pretty good week though, and Ronald Jones had a great week, not a pretty good week.
Yeah, but Mike Davis has had a pretty good 5 weeks.
Right, but then you look at the matchups. So that's where I get a little iffy on these running backs. Okay, Sean said, I'm not very familiar with Underdog Fantasy at all. I'm intrigued by best ball and whatever you guys are doing though. What is this called? And you're drafting a team just for this week? Yeah. So what we did on Underdog Fantasy last time was a best ball format, which they did a lot during the offseason. And best ball is just you draft a very big team. You're going to have a larger bench than normal, and then there is no management during the season. They'll automatically start whatever your best lineup would have been from all of your players, and then whoever scores the most points over a season is the winner of that league. And these are real money entries. So this is a daily fantasy sports format. Now, this is a similar kind of format. We're going to be drafting a snake draft back and forth, but there's only 6 teams, and it's only for 1 week. So we will be drafting a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex. Every team has to fill out those spots. And then again, I think the first and second place teams cash out, and the 3rd through 6th do not. So it's just it's a weekly format. You're drafting a team just for this week, and best team wins, gets a little bit of money.
We're still waiting for 2 people to fill up this room.
Yeah, so we can talk about that top tier of we have another question. Let's see, we have 2 more questions. Should I pick up Williams or Higgins?
You asked me this last week sometime, right? I think we had a question like this. I think, Simon, you might have asked me as a trip me up because I love both of these guys.
I asked you it was a poll perception, Mike Williams versus T. Higgins.
Yeah, so my Clemson guys. They should be your Clemson guys too. What's wrong with you? Where's your school pride?
I love these guys too.
So I think I ended up saying Higgins out of just safety, but I think the general consensus that Josh, Simon, and I came to was that it depends on your team. I think Josh and Simon, if I remember correctly, were leaning Mike Williams. A lot of big play upside. Herbert has been slinging the ball, so that's really good for Mike Williams if that continues. But Higgins is. I'm going to expect a much more consistent floor is a safer pick. And so, honestly, I would probably still pick up Higgins over Mike Williams. But
I completely agree with what you're saying. And Jail, you and I have a team where Higgins is actually holding down our wide receiver core. Where it's Higgins, the Breonna Taylor League, the Black Lives Matter League. We have a team where Higgins is holding together that wide receiver core after Chris Godwin goes out injured. And Higgins has been perfectly steady for us. He's not like this explosive, going to blow up all the time kind of player like Mike Williams is. I wouldn't trade Higgins for Mike Williams in that league though. Now, if you've got a steady wide receiver core, if you've got some of these safe guys like this year, like an Amari Cooper, who's been consistent -1 game, Who else has been wildly consistent? You've got Amari Cooper and DeAndre Hopkins, then Mike Williams might be a great third receiver in that spot because he could blow up for 2 touchdowns on any given week. But generally, I'm going to go Higgins as well. I completely agree.
And Josh said in the PPR, he's going Higgins.
In PPR, he's going Higgins.
From the Amazon, Josh is commenting.
Josh has a question for us. Who would you rather have rest of the season, Gesicki or Hurst?
God, that's really going to depend on how Tua uses.
Yeah, I was about to say with Tua coming in, and Gesicki just got skunked against the Jets.
So if you haven't seen, Tua is going to be named starter after the bye week. So they're gonna bench Fitzpatrick. Why was that hard to say? Bench Fitzpatrick and start Tua. And so what we've seen out of Gesicki might be different than what we get the rest of the season.
Well, I hope it was different than this past week.
I hope so too. I have Gesicki in so many leagues, and that 0 did not help. What's up, NBA Rig? Good to see you again. Do Browns fans go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I figured this one was targeted directly at me. Do Browns fans still want Baker to start at QB next season? In an ideal world, Baker can plays well, and I want him to be the starter next year. I don't know who we could get that's better. And I think Baker has shown signs that he can be a good quarterback. I don't think he's going to be a world beater, but I think he can be efficient, especially in the kind of system that Stefanski wants to run here. It's like run first type of offense. Baker's shown that he can succeed in that. So yes, I would love for Baker to be the starting quarterback next season because that probably means we had a pretty damn good season. Now, if things fall off the rails, Baker starts throwing picks like he did last year, like at the rate he did, then no. But I don't envision that happening with the style of offense that we're running.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're still waiting on 2 more people. We can go over some of these wide receivers as well. And there were a couple lower rated wide receivers. They're not too low, but I wanted to identify. I guess we could do that with running back too. Yeah, before we move on to wide receiver, there were some of these running backs down here, like a Jerick McKinnon is really interesting. With
Mostert being out.
With Mostert being out. He's a little bit lower, but he could have a killer week. They are playing New England, but it's just going to be him. He's the sole guy. Antonio Gibson against that Dallas defense. He could be an interesting play this week. Devin Singletary against the Jets.
Yep.
I think those were the 3 that really stood out to me whenever I was looking at this.
How do you feel about Kenyon Drake after that game last night?
Really hyped for him. I'm so excited for him. I don't know if that's a sign of good things to come. I'd err on the side of caution. I'd probably recommend trading him if you could, but I don't know. It's not a great matchup this week to follow it up either against Seattle. Not horrible, but not the world's best matchup either.
Yeah.
So you could be back to tough sledding for Kenyon. Okay, NBA rigged. From your eye test, which team is better, Baltimore or Pitt? Why? I'm gonna go with the Steelers. As much as I hate to say it, that defense looks so freaking good, just unbelievable. And Lamar looks a little different. If Lamar can get back to where he was last year, or even 75% of that, I think this offense picks back up. Maybe they make the change to J.K. Dobbins after the bye week. Maybe they start running with running back. Lamar gets more in the rhythm, and Baltimore, if their offense can pick it up a little bit. But that Steelers defense looks unbelievable.
But so does the Ravens. With Patrick Queen there, they've just been shutting teams down. That's actually a good question. I don't know.
I think it's close.
I think I lean Ravens. Maybe I'm biased, but they've only lost to the Chiefs. It looks like Josh says Baltimore. They only lost to the Chiefs, but we shall see soon. They play this week, so we'll have to see what ends up happening. But I think season-wise, I'm going to go with Baltimore. I think that they can pick it back up. Steelers offense has had just as many issues. And so I think that both teams, hopefully both of their offenses will improve, and they won't have to lean on their defenses as much.
Man, they play this week. I forgot about that. Josh says they play this week. That'll be a fun game to watch. I do think the Steelers defense is up to the task. They've been
next week, I think.
Oh, next week? Yeah, aren't the Ravens on bye?
November 1st.
The next weekend they play.
November 1st, yeah.
Okay. Boston Scott against the Giants or Henry Ruggs against Tampa Bay.
PPR.
You got an opinion on this one?
Well, if it's PPR, I don't know if that changes. At least it's standard. Let me see, standard. Okay, so I would probably go Boston Scott. Henry Ruggs is coming off the bye, but I don't know. His matchup's a whole lot better than Henry Ruggs. They're playing Tampa Bay. Raiders are playing Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tampa Bay has been pretty good at shutting down wide receivers. They're not shutting down, but like keeping them, to within a certain number of points. So I think Boston Scott's going to have an opportunity here. Giants have not been good in any respect to the game, unfortunately. So I'd go Boston Scott. What do you think, Simon?
I agree. I think it's Boston Scott. If you need crazy upside, if you need a 90-yard touchdown, then I guess maybe you go Ruggs, but I think the safer play is definitely Boston Scott and probably the smarter play. Okay. It has opened up. We are the 4th pick overall.
All right, finally.
And the draft starts in 35 seconds.
Finally.
Okay. Cooper Kupp or versus Chicago or Tyler Boyd versus Cleveland, and why?
Cooper Kupp is playing Chicago. I don't know. What do you think, Simon?
Tough one. I'd probably go Tyler Boyd because the Cleveland secondary outside of Denzel Ward has not been very good. We've just been getting beaten up back there. I don't know who Denzel Ward is going to primarily cover this week, but Boyd will be able to get open. I think Kupp's the better player, but that's a tougher matchup for him. But someone who's watched the Cleveland defense every single week, we are very vulnerable in the secondary. Mm-hmm. So the first pick just went. It was Aaron Jones. Oh, Josh is drafting against us in here at pick number 2. Jay Fust won. Who's he going to take? Who's he going to take? He's going to run out of time. I wonder, is it going to be Alvin Kamara?
Josh is sniping again. Out there sniping us.
Alvin Kamara for Josh.
Wow, what a pick. Controversial.
3rd pick. So I say we either take Kareem Hunt or Ezekiel Elliott here, unless you want DeAndre Hopkins versus Seattle. Oh, well, he went. Who do you want here? Kareem Hunt or Zeke?
Who do I want? How much time do we have?
15 seconds.
You're leaning Hunt?
I'm leaning Hunt.
I would lean Zeke, but Hunt's like right next to him. So if you want to take Hunt, go for it. Mr.
I'm taking
Brown.
Hunt. You get veto on the next one.
Veto. Kareem Hunt. All right.
Here is the draft board so far.
Oh,
okay, so this is not best ball. This is a half-point PPR, just week 7. Just week 7 draft, half PPR. Sean Godwin says Hunt. He agrees with me.
Yeah, Sean knows what he's talking about. To that question about Kupp or Boyd, I would go Kupp. We kind of got away from that real quick, but I would go Kupp. He had a bad game last week, but
we're on the clock. Oh no, we're not.
Panic there for a second. All right, who are we going next?
I'd be tempted to go James Conner or Ronald Jones, but I also love the matchup for Atlanta against Detroit. And when Calvin Ridley or Julio Jones seems like a great pick this week. Stephon Diggs at the Jets looks great. I don't know. There's a lot of great quarterbacks. We might also want to grab one of the top tier tight ends Might want to grab George Kittle or Darren Waller.
Yeah, I think that's smart in a 6-person
Which
draft.
tight end do you prefer? I think I prefer George Kittle this week. That's a tough matchup, though. Actually, Darren Waller?
I would prefer Kittle over Waller.
Okay, let's say Kittle. It's a tough matchup, but he's a monster.
Okay.
Let's grab him.
This is Rojo drafting. Will Rojo draft Rojo?
In a 6-team with only 6 teams, I think it's getting that differentiator at tight end is huge, especially since there's such a big drop off.
Yeah.
I'm leaning your general strategy with quarterback. JL, I think we can wait till probably the last round and grab a quarterback that can probably be a top 5 QB this week if we pick the right guy.
I like that.
Josh is back on the clock. So it went George Kittle, then Julio Jones was the next pick from Rojo. I really like that pick. Josh's team name is J Fused 1. He just picked Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon. Josh loves Joe Mixon.
Oh, there goes Derrick Henry. I'm kind of hoping Ronald Jones sneaks back to us because I love that matchup against the Raiders.
Rojo will take him.
Let's probably watch, or Josh is going to take him right here.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill. Derrick Henry was one of the guys I was kind of fading because they're playing that Pittsburgh defense we were just talking about. And I'm not sure I want to touch any running back against that team. Like, I understand he's great, and at a certain point, I probably would have taken him, but I probably would have taken Ronald Jones, Jerick McKinnon over Derrick Henry against the Pittsburgh defense. Like, that's I'm not playing that game.
He's been so good. I don't think I don't weigh in the matchups as much when you get these top players.
We're on the clock. We've got James Conner available, Ronald Jones, Calvin Ridley, Kenny Galladay, Stephon Diggs.
I like Mike Davis here.
Mike Davis?
Yeah.
More than Ronald Jones and James Conner?
Yeah. I like James Conner's like a spot or two down.
You know what? You let me grab Kareem Hunt. We'll grab Mike Davis right here. That's I'm fine with that. I'm just iffy on him, just because of the matchup, but he's been killing it. He had a down week last week. McCaffrey's not back until what, at least week 8, right?
Yeah. Yeah, week 8 I think is when he's projected to be back. All right.
So 1 second. So now we probably need to look at wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, we could also grab another running back as our flex, but if Calvin Ridley makes it back to us, I love that. Now, some other like names that were a little bit further down, they're not way down that I like. Terry McLaurin. Oh, did he just get drafted? No, against Dallas. I love that matchup. Dallas defense has been horrendous. OBJ against Cincinnati. That's another great matchup. See who are more of these wide receivers a little further down. The DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are still available.
Mm-hmm. I'm probably leaning Kenny Galladay here or Calvin Ridley if he's still on the board. No,
Calvin Ridley just got taken. I think I lean Kenny Galladay.
All right, let's go Kenny.
I think I lean Kenny G as well. I love that game. I love the Detroit-Atlanta game. I was hoping to get one of the Atlanta pieces, but I think Kenny Galladay could have a great week as well.
Yeah. And Stephon Diggs is right behind Kenny Galladay in my rankings this week.
I might go OBJ against Cincinnati, but it's all a similar tier. These 3 guys right here for me.
Yep.
There goes Darren Waller, DK Metcalf, Russell Wilson. At the turn, who's he going to take? TJ Hawkinson. I think that's a great, like if you didn't get one of those top tight ends, TJ Hawkinson's a great one to play this week.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs. Josh took him.
Josh, you sneaky minx.
Kyler Murray. You want to go OBJ here?
No.
No, you don't? Okay.
I don't.
Where do you want to go?
I would go.
There's other wide receivers. There's Mike Evans, Tyler Lockett, Will Fuller, Chris Godwin, Amari Cooper, Robbie Anderson. A.J. Brown's got a great matchup against Pittsburgh.
I like A.J. Brown.
Okay. I can do A.J. Brown. Let's do A.J. Brown.
Okay.
I would have taken OBJ there, but I love the matchup I think they're going to have to pass the ball.
Mm-hmm. Season.
because they're not going to be able to run. I don't think they're going to be able to successfully run.
Yeah.
NBA Rigged says Rojo has been killing it with better matchup. Why not him over Mike Davis? I agree. I understand the love for Mike Davis because he's been killing it recently.
Simon did say that, to be fair.
I wanted Rojo over Mike Davis because of the matchup.
But I vetoed, all right?
But JL took the veto and wanted Mike Davis. I think just the number of games that he's been highly successful this year versus the number of games Rojo has, even though it's a positive matchup.
They're both great picks, but yeah, I want to see if we can get some of that upside with Mike Davis.
Let's see. So who just went? Mike Evans.
Hunter Henry.
That seems high for.
Seems very high. Hunter Henry, Josh Allen, Mike Evans. Okay, who are we going next, Simon?
I do not know. I would maybe go OBJ or Terry McLaurin. You know how I feel about those two guys this week.
Who did we just go with?
AJ Brown.
Well, maybe.
Are there other wide receivers or running backs that stand out to you? Todd Gurley against Detroit, David Johnson. Oh, we got to pick.
I like Todd Gurley.
Oh, we could go Ronald Jones still as well.
Let's go Ronald Jones then.
Okay, I think that's who it's going to take auto draft. It took Aaron Rodgers.
What do you mean it took?
Aaron Rodgers was not even in my queue, and it drafted Aaron Rodgers for us.
Why'd you have bought that on?
I didn't click it in time.
Oh, Simon.
Okay, well, we needed a quarterback. So I completely escaped my head that the draft was finishing, and that was our last pick. And so we had to take a quarterback. So you heard it here first. Aaron Rodgers bounce back week.
I don't hate it. I think I have him like 5 or 6 in the week. So
yeah, honestly, it's a pretty good matchup against Houston, and hopefully Deshaun Watson throws some bombs to Fuller and Cooks to keep it high scoring. So let's take a look at our team. Aaron Rodgers at quarterback that we totally picked on purpose.
Yeah, that's 100% intentional.
Kareem Hunt and Mike Davis at running back. My guy and JL's guy. We'll see if the Ronald Jones pick would have won it for us. We'll do a comparison. Or we'll see if the Zeke pick over Kareem Hunt would have won it.
Yeah.
Discount double poop Rodgers.
I like that. You should change his name to that.
The discount double poop.
Discount double poop.
Then Kenny Galladay and AJ Brown at our wide receiver position, and George Kittle at tight end.
I like this.
I'm happy with this team. Now,
let's see Josh's team.
Mike Davis and George Kittle have tough matchups, but they've been great players. Like I'm not fading George Kittle ever. Mike Davis, tough matchup, but he's been killing it. He even had good games against some tougher matchups earlier this year. So I am fine with it. Let's see. Let's view the full draft.
Josh says, my team will destroy yours. Get out of here, Josh.
Josh drafted. So at quarterback, Josh has Patrick Mahomes. At running back, he has Alvin Kamara and Joe Mixon. At wide receiver, he has DK Metcalf and Stephon Diggs. And at tight end, he has Rob Gronkowski. It's actually that's a good team.
Except for I don't love Gronk, but
I don't love the Joe Mixon pick. The Cleveland run D has actually been fairly good.
Yeah. Joe Mixon and Gronk are the only 2 things I dislike about that team.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good though. Let's look at some of these other teams.
Probably would have went Derrick Henry over Joe Mixon.
Oh, so I was a little bit off on how this works. I guess you could fill those flex spots any way you wanted. I was unaware. This was a new format for me. I haven't done their weekly one yet. Because this team has 3 wide receivers, 1 running back, 1 tight end, and 1 quarterback.
Okay. Dang, I'm going to have to sign up for this and probably do one for this weekend.
I'll have to look at the rules. Let's see. I'm just curious.
Pumpkin spice.
So 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, and 1 tight end.
Got you. Okay.
So you're required to have at least 1 running back, 2 wide receivers. Then that flex can be either a 3rd wide receiver or a 2nd running back. I'm not sure that would have changed what I did though. I like our running backs
Yeah, I don't think it mattered.
for sure.
Bird
Yeah,
up.
Bird up. I don't know what Battle Royale pumpkin spice is, but
Sounds delicious.
we'll take one more look at this, and then
Short episode today.
this is the winning.
Yeah,
This is the winning entry.
This is the winning one. Yep.
First place will get $10. Second place will get $6.
High stakes.
Yeah, we're all about high stakes here. Okay. Unless there are additional questions, you can find us on YouTube at Front Yard Fantasy. You can find us on Twitch also at Front Yard Fantasy. And you can find us on Twitter at Front Yard FYF. I am FYF Simon. You can find John Luke at FYF John Luke. Follow us instead of just finding us. And before we jump off, one more question. Drop one, rest of season. Benny Snell, Boston Scott, Devonta Freeman.
I want to say Snell.
Yeah.
I want to say Snell. I think you got to keep Devonta Freeman right now. Or at least try and trade him, see if you can get something. Or maybe package two of them.
I'm dropping Snell or Scott.
Yeah, Snell or Scott.
Scott hasn't been great even when given the opportunity, but he's got the opportunity immediately this week. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Miles Sanders out. So I'm not sure how droppable he is this week. Probably Snell for me. But if you ask me next week or whenever Miles Sanders is back, if Miles Sanders is back and healthy, then my answer probably switches. If both Miles Sanders and James Conner are perfectly healthy, I'm probably dropping Boston Scott. But since Miles Sanders is currently injured, I'm dropping Benny Snell.
Yeah, I concur.
Okay. Josh says trading makes fantasy fun. That means we are out of here for the day. We will see you tomorrow.